Okay, Jellicent down. Who's next? Come on, who's next? Alolan Ninetales. Oh, Wait, do I win this one? It's neutral, right? We live. Yeah, we live. Dragon Breath OP. Holy moly. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the team I used. Well, full transparency, I played 2 sets in the last maybe 4 or 5 days. So these are the 2 sets since then. I did drop a little, I think to 2,700 before these sets. And yeah, and I used Alolan Ninetales lead with a safe swap of Kingdra and the Scrafty for yeah, as the closer. So sort of an amalgamation of last season's team with Kingdra safe swap and this season with a ton of Scrafty. The Alolan Ninetales and Scrafty are both 100% IVs, 15, 15, 15 to save on the XLs. And the Kingdra is not XL'd. So, alright, let's go ahead and get into the games. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit that sub button. It helps me a lot here on YouTube. Let's get into it. Alright, so yeah, these games weren't done on stream, so I'm going to show you 2 sets where I use the Alolan Ninetales, Scrafty, and Kingdra team. Alright, in the mirror matchup, so you definitely want to land the Dazzling Gleam, but you also don't have to be too worried about one landing on you. Obviously, that's the same for the opponent. If they do have an XL, like an actual really good IV XL, they will beat us, but it does seem to take about two Dazzling Gleams or a ton of extra Powder Snows, so maybe the 2 shield. Not 100% sure about the matchup, but obviously they went to Dazzling Gleam as well, so we're going to do that. Yep, and then it's they do end up swapping here, so they do give us switch. I'm going to come into Scrafty here. So usually in the back of a Jellicent is with an Alolan Ninetales lead is another water type, possibly Politoed, maybe even Shadow Swampert. I actually seen a ton of Shadow Swampert this season. They do go straight for the Bubble Beam, so they are going to be going just straight Bubble Beam, making this Scrafty kind of useless for the rest of the matchup after it gets through with this Jellicent, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be able to get to 4, considering that 2 foul plays will not be enough. And this matchup definitely going to take a long time. Definitely not worth baiting ever in the Bubble Beam matchup for sure. Just go for the moves. They're either, because if you do land a power-up punch, all it does is undo a Bubble Beam, and it really does almost no damage to a Jellicent, being that ghost type and resisting counter. Or, I'm sorry, not counter, resisting the fighting moves. So, might as well go for the super effectives. So, I think about farming here, but then I'm like, there's not really a lot to farm for. I'm already kind of super reduced. But what I might try to do is something like a Kingdra swap in. Oh, and they actually end up swapping into Politoed. So, they show me their 3rd. I come in with my 3rd. And this is a really good matchup. The only thing you have to really be worried about is the Earthquake. Now, the Earthquake not doing as much damage as it would on, obviously, Shadow Swampert. That is a lot of damage. And we do call the bait right here, and I don't think I'm going for any baits. Just going straight Outrage. The Dragon Breaths are going to catch up anyways, and if they decide not to shield, we just catch them, So we do end up catching them there, and now Kingdra can just farm down all the rest of the matchups, even though there is still a Alolan Ninetales with 25-30% health. It's not going to do enough damage to sway that matchup in any other way. Alright, Machamp. This is obviously pretty tough for our backline, kind of tough for our front line too. Shadow Machamp and Obstagoon, I think, are 2 really difficult matchups to try to get through. But we don't want to leave the matchup at all. We want to stay in here against them. We do outpace them as long as they don't bait. And they did bait because they know they have to. And we kind of have to respect a Rock Slide because it is going to be super effective and it's going to be doing a ton of damage, considering it is the Shadow Machamp. Now they do end up switching here to, I was about to say Relaxa, to Snorlax. And yeah, we're definitely just going to throw Scrafty into this. The Scrafty will live 1 superpower. A superpower and a Body Slam will KO, no matter the order, even if they superpower first, which they almost always will get to a superpower and a Body Slam. So my whole thing was I'm not going to shield this matchup because I can live it. But we don't live the 2 attacks here. So I think maybe going forward, I might try to... maybe I'll just shield the first one. I just don't want to get stuck in a terrible matchup. Now, this person did not make it because I think they waited way too long to throw, and they didn't know we were right at the move, able to stop them from throwing back-to-back moves. So that was good for us. I'm going to probably come in Kingdra here, snipe this Machamp. We do, because Kingdra has 1-turn moves with Dragon Breath. Always worth it to do something like that, even though the matchup's not great for Kingdra. And obviously taking a hit there would have been pretty nasty. Now, I do go for Octazooka here because they have 2 shields. I could just go straight Outrage. It doesn't particularly matter. I think we would have won either way. But you know what? They have 2 shields. Just going to go for the Octazooka. If they shield, great. If we get the debuff, great. But it's over no matter what. So just trying to see what I can do here. So if it's over no matter what, you might as well go for the move that has the % chance to lower. Yeah. And they end up leaving. Alright, game 3. Stunfisk, obviously this is a tough lead. It's an okay matchup for Kingdra, obviously not fantastic, especially with the Earthquakes. I really didn't want to throw this Octazooka, but they weren't leaving this matchup. You'll see that after this Earthquake. And that's really good from our opponent here because they want us to waste our energy here on this matchup, and then... so I go a little bit over, and then so they can come into the next matchup fresh in case they do get the debuff. But so we do go a little bit over. We throw this. It is super effective, but not the greatest move. They do come in with a Venusaur. I think I end up throwing the Octazooka because technically they did make it to a Frenzy Plant, but they didn't actually throw it, so that was interesting. And we don't get the debuff, we get punished here. Probably should have just gone for that Outrage, but I don't know, I thought they would have thrown earlier, and now I'm just going to take this. Probably not going to shield when I come back in with 8-9, unless they get to 2, because we already know there's that one bad matchup in the back, and I don't want to shield this knowing that I already have another bad matchup, and you're going to survive a Sludge Wave anyways, or a Sludge Bomb rather. So yeah, might as well get some farm down. These Weather Balls do some damage to Stunfisk, so it's not terrible. And then here, I'm like, okay, I don't know what's in the back. Maybe I should shield this. And I think they end up baiting me here. It's been a few days since I even played these. Yep, I get baited here. Not fantastic. They end up coming in with an Altaria. I'm in a pretty terrible situation. The only thing I really have going for me is that the switch timers are really off. So they're not going to be able to farm down either, and I think a Sky Attack and a farm down would do it, but we're definitely going to make it to another foul play here. They probably shield this, though, and they're probably going up to 2 Sky Attacks. If they do have 2 Sky Attacks against the... Oh, they actually don't shield. Oh, that's interesting, because this power-up's going to do decent. I might shield and try to get a swap. That's something that I could do here, because if we actually can get the second move onto Alolan Ninetales, we'll still have the Scrafty as the backup, and that's why I'm throwing this Power-Up Punch as well. They may shield it because all their Pokemon are getting kind of low, but I'm also just trying to make it to that timer so I can switch out and start getting a little bit of farm on the Alolan Ninetales, and we do end up KOing. Now, the Ice is double super effective against the Altaria. Now, we almost have 2 Weather Ball Ice here. So, like I said, this is actually decent. It's neutral against Galarian Stunfisk, and yeah, we end up CMP tying, and Galarian Stunfisk is obviously a super tank, so we do end up winning that CMP. They do undercharge, but by too much. I think they wanted to undercharge and then farm down, but they super undercharged, and the Mud Shots will never KO us in time. We actually would KO probably just with the Powder Snows. So another Alolan Ninetales mirror here. Obviously, oh, this is a charm one. I was going to say, obviously, our Alolan Ninetales loses to probably all the other Alolan Ninetales because it is a worse version of the XLs. But honestly, honestly, IVs don't really matter that much. Like I said, our Alolan Ninetales is 15-15-15. Our Scrafty is 15-15-15. Our Kingdra is not XL at all. So It is what it is. I'm not too worried about IVs in most matchups. I really don't worry about IVs at all, but I know a lot of people do think a lot about it. So we did end up going for that bait. And, oh, no, we went straight for 2 Dazzling Gleams here. And I think they shielded the first one. And I'm thinking, like, I don't really want to get farmed down. But I think I can make it to this Weather Ball, and then I don't end up making it. So that's tough. And I probably have to come in Kingdra here. It is a ton of farm, but Charm being double super effective against Scrafty is not where I want to be. So I'll just take the single super effective. Yeah, I'm not doing too much either, but this is a Weather Ball. Probably don't have to shield it. It's neutral. And most of the time when you're running Charm, it's Size Shock and Weather Ball, so not going to be too worried about any sort of Dazzling Gleam. And they're not going to make it to another Weather Ball here. So decent farm, but again, I'm put into a really bad situation here. Obviously, we wanted our Scrafty against this Umbreon. Now we do eat this move, which is actually great for us. We're lowering the energy possible on the Umbreon in the back, but the odds of this next Pokemon being good against us is pretty high. Yeah, it does end up being an Altaria again. 2 Altarias back-to-back in these sets. Altaria is not very common, so it is interesting to see 2 of them appear in the, I think this is probably like 2750 range at this point. We'll see at the end of game 5. This is game 4, so yeah, Altaria is obviously tough for the back line. Even Kingdra, I mean, we don't really have a big move to throw at... well, we have the one big move of Outrage, but if we throw the Octazooka, it is resisted, and they do have Sky Attack, and Sky Attack's neutral, so that matchup's not fantastic for us. Again, I'm just trying to throw this Power-Up Punch so that I can make it to the switch window here, but the problem this time is Umbreon is super tanky, and we don't end up sniping this down. I probably should have just gone for the snipe, but that would have been so risky. I wonder if I win this game if I go for that snipe, because I know for a fact I lose this game, because this Outrage just doesn't do enough. Yeah, this Dark Pulse, or this Foul Play doesn't KO us, but the Outrage doesn't KO, and then he's going to be able to farm us down because we're too low. Even though Dragon Breaths are doing... well, it doesn't look like it, but they're actually doing so much damage. The only problem is Umbreon is super, super bulky, so tough to get it down, even with these good one-turn moves. And yeah, we have Scrafty in the back, but they're just saving... I mean, they're just farming us all the way down, so they have energy. Even a Foul Play... Foul Play might not KO from there, so that was my one hope, was for a Foul Play here, but they obviously have Last Resort, so we saw it earlier. They took us out with it earlier, so GG's there. All right, last game of the first set. Shadow Swampert, okay. It's an interesting matchup. It is in favor of the Shadow Swampert. The only reason I know that is because I did run Shadow Swampert for a little while. It actually is super fun. I think Swampert's one of those safer swaps in Ultra League, so in Open and in Premier, by the way. So if you have Shadow Swampert, I definitely recommend trying it out. Obviously, it is pretty squishy, but it does insane damage. I hope this is the Earthquake. Oh, we shield it. I was about to say, I hope this is the Earthquake so we can see it actually does like 60%. But we do shield it, which is really nice for us. Now, in the Venusaur, in the full health versus full health matchup, I definitely just go for the Outrage. Venusaur will still win because they get the 2 Frenzy Plants. But they do have to throw both if they try to farm down after in the 0. They will be sorely disappointed and lose their Venusaur and switch. This does a lot. I think it brings it down to like 20%. I'm trying to remember this game. I don't remember it, but I have a... oh, no, they do shield it. Dang. Perfect for them. They might even try to farm us all the way down, but I think I will get to an Octazooka if they try that. So they do throw another move here. But we did get the shield. That's worth something. I might actually... no, we can take one Sludge Wave. Sludge Bomb, sorry. And I'm going to try to farm down. And then I decide, you know what? They're not throwing. Let me try to just get rid of all the energy they have. Try to get rid of all this advantage they gained on this Venusaur, because it had a ton of energy. So they come back in with Swampert. If they come back in with oh, shit. It's Talent Flame. Okay. Now, Alolan Ninetales is not... with Powder Snow is not as terrible as you would think against Talonflame. So I'm just going to stay in this matchup. I'm going to take my loss, and then I'm going to come in with Scrafty with 1 shield and hope to down the Talonflame and the Swampert. Swampert is out of energy. It just threw that Earthquake when we swapped out onto the Kingdra. And this is getting so low now that now a power-up punch is probably going to be in range. Now, obviously, no shield this. If they undercharge or do anything sneaky, we're already tapping that Scrafty button. We just want to get back into Scrafty. They actually just full go for it. We shield Talonflame because it could have Brave Bird. Oh my god, we're lagging. Okay. This is... I mean, they have Brave Bird, so this is Brave Bird, 100%. Yeah. They're going to switch to the Swampert, but we're just going to start powering up. We don't care. They know that this is a power-up punch. We didn't fake anything, but they kind of have to shield it even though they don't want to. And like I said, they were out of energy. Oh my god. Yeah, we're getting hit by 1. Shadow Swampert's going to bring us pretty freaking low. Maybe this puts us to 10%. But the Talonflame... Oh, this actually... we survived a lot more than I thought. The Talonflame doesn't have a move, so an Incinerate, we're going to get 2 counters in under the Incinerate, and yeah, that's a GG. So 4-1 here in this first set. Like I said, I think I went down to like 2,700 before these 2 sets. This is probably almost 5 days ago. So 42 points there, and let's go into our last set. Alright, Obstagoon lead. Now, I did say earlier I don't like this that much because I actually didn't know this matchup that well. I looked it up later, and I'll be playing it a lot different. I think even in this set I played it a lot different, but not this game. This game I was like, okay, I'll just bait the Dazzling Gleams, and if I land a Dazzling Gleam, I'm so good. The only thing I'm truly worried about is Gunk Shot. Even Hyper Beam I don't care that much about. But I did find out later, you can actually just go straight Weather Ball, and you win this against the Obstagoon because you outpace it, because that third Weather Ball is actually only 4 Powder Snows, so you end up outpacing it. Now, they do end up going for the shield here, and that's quite terrible for me. So I probably should switch out to the Kingdra right away. I don't remember if I actually do that or not, though. Maybe I'm just going to save the Kingdra and go for Scrafty. I could actually see that as well. Oh, interesting. I'm definitely letting this go because it has Cross Chop. I will only make it to Weather Ball here. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I've now learned this matchup. So it is weird for me to see me making these like pretty terrible plays here. Not terrible, just like unknowing plays. So they do come in with a Nidoqueen. This isn't as bad as you would think it is. They obviously outpace and they will win, but you are able to do damage in the meantime. So it is fine. And then we're kind of all in on this Kingdra, which it could still have play. I could see something like a Dragalge in the back. I think that's how you pronounce that. If it's not, definitely let me know. I think this second one will kill us, but I don't think I can afford to shield here. Do I live, actually? Oh, we actually do live by a sliver. So this, we're going to get it pretty low here. Maybe even in... No, we do KO it. Interesting. Okay. Well, this is absolutely terrible because Obstagoon really doesn't... Not Obstagoon. Kingdra doesn't really touch Alolan Ninetales here. The only thing I can think of is maybe trying to catch on the Dazzling Gleam. But even then, we still need a... Oh, they end up baiting anyways. And they end up farming us down. Really well played here by our opponent. But, yeah, I was thinking, what's our actual win con here? It's probably 2 Octazookas onto this. And then we still have to do a ton of damage to the Obstagoon. There really is no win con here. Unless the opponent just threw Dazzling Gleam right there and just lost all their energy for no reason. But yeah, now they're going to have the Dazzling Gleam. And even if we get the debuff, they'll switch into the Obstagoon and then be able to remove that debuff while retaining the Dazzling Gleam energy. And then, yeah, then they would win either. either way. So yeah, we didn't get the debuff and they just go for it. But yeah, like I said, they had all these other lines. They were never really in danger here. We needed our Alolan Ninetales to do too much. It just was in the wrong spot here. Scrafty really had no play in the back. Although it's decent against Alolan Ninetales with Powder Snow. But not without shields, because Dazzling Gleam will destroy you. Anyways, we're on to this matchup. I think this matchup, I forgot if I had figured out how to play in this one or not. We'll see if I just go straight Weather Ball, or if I go for some type of Dazzling Gleam move. Okay, we go for the Weather Ball. Now this player did not try to go up to like some big move, so no forced shield at the beginning, which is nice. And I do know they have cross chop. They already showed us, like we've already taken the damage. Which cross chop is neutral from our, we're resisting it from our fairy side, but we're taking super effective from our ice side. So yeah, it looks like I am going straight for the Weather Balls. And then I'm just going for this one because we outpaced it by 1 turn, and there were no snuck moves on either side, so they'll have to decide if they want to shield this, and if they do, we always outpace them to the next one as well. So we won the 0 shield there, which is pretty nice. Of course, if I knew they weren't going to shield, I could have just gone for Dazzling Gleam, but you never know, so I went for the safe play. They do come in with Talonflame. I decide, you know what, I'm just going to take the damage here. Going to allow Kingdra into the Talonflame matchup. I can't really swap because then they swap out, so we'll let them get the 2 free Incinerates, and then we'll work with what's left after that. So probably we'll just end up shielding this move because it could be Brave Bird, and I really don't want to lose anything here. And if it is Brave Bird, they'll swap out, and we'll get to see what this swap is. It is Jellicent, and we do have a hard counter for that. If they have Bubble Beam, they'll definitely just show it. Or if they have Ice Beam, they'll show that as well. No real need to go Shadow Ball here. It is resisted, and the other moves are neutral at least. Although Bubble Beam really doesn't do that much, so maybe you could just go Shadow Ball if you have Bubble Beam. Unless you truly just want to reduce the attack and allow for a Talonflame farm down. The only thing is it would have to happen soon because as soon as the switch timer's up, I'm just going to be leaving that matchup into the better Kingdra versus Talonflame matchup. Another thing to note is the Talonflame has used Brave Bird, so that's 3 Incinerates gone. And I think it only used 3 Incinerates, so it is out of energy, or pretty low on energy, I should say. Obviously not enough to get to a move. I do try to go for a little bit of a undercharge to get some damage. Or to get damage and a farm down, I should say. And then, yeah. I won't switch while they haven't swapped, but if I do KO, we will switch, right? Yeah. And that's GG. I can just shield the next move. I can Octazooka. Yeah, that's just GG. All right, game 3 here in the second set. Another Ninetales mirror. This is the 3rd or 4th one. I mean, I don't know how many leads Ninetales is winning right now. The Obstagoon lead is a win. The Machamp one is like meh. And then these are like pretty just, I mean, they're obviously even, right? I tried to get extra Powder Snows in because I did notice we were desynced, but I don't actually know where the 100 energy point is here, and I was scared that I actually went over the 100 energy, but we actually did end up gaining a Powder Snow, so we do have a little bit of an advantage here. But, well, yeah, it's actually going to serve us great because we can just go for the Dazzling Gleam again. They probably won't just random swap out. And I'll probably just let this go if they do throw a move. I think even a Weather Ball at this point might KO us. Where are we? It'd be pretty close. They might even be able to farm us down if they just go for a Weather Ball. Which means maybe I should switch. I like to switch here to Scrafty. You're not too scared. They do have another Weather Ball, but they do not have it. I think they don't have a Dazzling Gleam here, but I think in the moment I got scared. I do remember shielding this. Yep. Man, it's kind of crazy how I can remember these games from like 3 days ago. It's a Politoed. Usually I would go for the Power-Up Punch here. Notice that there's no hard counter to my swap in here, so this is really great for me to know. It means that Well, we've faced a Politoed and a Jellicent with a Ninetales lead earlier, right? So Jellicent could be in the back here. But they definitely don't have a hard counter, so Scrafty's actually probably pretty good into both of these Mon. And the question is, do you think he's going to go Earthquake? Or do you even care about shielding, or are you all in on the Kingdra? They do end up going Earthquake. Even a Weather Ball here doesn't KO. And they don't have enough energy on Alolan Ninetales to come in with that either. Because, like I said, fighting is neutral against Alolan Ninetales. So if they come in with it without any energy, we're just going to counter them down. I think they're like 2 counters away from being KO'd. Maybe even 1. Especially since we're power-up punched. Now, they do end up coming with this Jellicent. I'm like, I definitely can make it to this foul play. We're resisting the hexes. If it had Bubble... If they had Bubble, we'd probably just lose, because I don't think we make it to this foul play. We force the shield here, and then we can just go into the... Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't want to switch because I knew I could still catch on Alolan Ninetales, possibly. Or I could swap if I get debuffed from a Bubble Beam. So I figure, you know what, I have the shield advantage here. They're probably going to go for something. This is, I mean, it's 50-50. Make the call. We did get, oh, well, it's Bubble Beams. We obviously got the attack drop. So I'm just going to make it, I'm going to try to get to Outrage. They're going to be out of energy here. Oh, it was actually a Shadow Ball. I'm going to get to Outrage, bring in Alolan Ninetales, and then have that Outrage fully powered up so that I don't have that debuff, and do as much damage as I can to this while I still can. Sorry, voice was dying. Had to get some water. All right, and then we just farm down. Yeah, I can just shield this. Everything's so low in the back. Yeah, he's still got 3 Pokemon, but they're all at like 1 HP. So, Dragon Breath gonna be winning here against all of these Pokemon. Okay, Jellicent down. Who's next? Come on, who's next? Alolan Ninetales. Oh, wait, do I win this one? It's neutral, right? We live. Yeah, we live. Dragon Breath OP. Holy moly. Alright, Talonflame lead. Not the greatest lead, but I can't switch out, and this is what I mean when I say Alolan Ninetales with Powder Snow is actually not that bad against Talonflame. I think you do win the 1 shield. Just make sure to throw the moves at the right timing. If they ever get an extra Incinerate in, obviously you're hosed. Because, I mean, I don't even need to say anything. Obvious. Alright, we go for the Weather Balls. We go 2 Powder Snows in between every Incinerate, trying to get the shields down here. This probably won't pulls a shield for sure. We get an extra Powder Snow, which is nice. Not necessary, but definitely nice. Gives us a little bit more leeway. I catch this Flame Charge because they knew I was so comfortable in that matchup that they were just going to throw right away. And obviously we double resist that, even though it is already powered up, so that is pretty nice. And they are coming in with the Venusaur, which, like I said in a previous part of this video, 1 Frenzy Plant, not enough to KO, so definitely force the Outrage in the Venusaur matchup. So that's what I'm going to do. And I believe if they try to go for a farm down after this, because this doesn't KO, I believe Kingdra wins. Even non-XL'd like mine is. Oh, wow, that Outrage actually just KOs, yeah. Are they going to come in with Talonflame? Because we do double resist the Incinerates. The power-up's already gone from the Flame Charge. We actually can do a ton of damage here. I think it's going to take 3 Incinerates to KO us. Opponent misjudged that a little bit. Kingdra, obviously insane against Talonflame. Yeah, and then we're going to come in Scrafty here. Just start powering up. Shield the first thing, probably. And that's GG. Swampert doesn't do enough damage to Scrafty here, especially in the ones. The counter's just going to do too much. Swampert, not the tankiest one in the world, so they do go up to the Earthquake, but like I said, probably just shielding the first one, hoping that this one's not the bait. But they could just go straight Hydro Cannon as well, it would be more consistent. But maybe they were thinking if they get that Earthquake off, then we're in range of just one Hydro, and then they can beat us in 2 Hydros. All right, regular Machamp lead. So this is interesting. I haven't seen a regular Machamp in a very long time. My very first thought... Oh, wait, do I lose this game? I think I was like, this could be Wholesome's team, which I believe... Wait, actually, not Wholesome. What is it? Wholesome? Tiny Boy? I don't remember. I was like, this could be someone's team where there's a fighter in the back. I think I do something stupid here. Okay, I switch into Kingdra. Probably don't have to shield anything because it is... Oh. Superior. Okay, that's interesting. Now, one thing about Superior is it doesn't have the poison typing of Venusaur. So it's not... Well, but like... I feel like Venusaur is just better all around. It has that poison typing. It's going to be better against the Charmers. It has more move coverage. I think Superior gets Aerial Ace and Frenzy Plant, whereas I think Sledge Bomb has a little more play in Ultra League. I don't know about this, but this is spicy as hell. I've never seen a Superior in Ultra League. This is literally my first and only one I've seen. Oh, and they have Leaf Tornado, so we know they don't have another move. Definitely coming in with the Alolan Ninetales, farming down. This is probably 3 Powder Snows, which is nice. We won't shield a Frenzy Plant if they have it. Maybe we would have. We are getting pretty low here. If it's the Machamp, we have a little bit of energy, but they did not throw a move at the Kingdra with their Machamp, so they definitely still have energy on this Machamp. We probably need to shield the... Oh, no Shadow Machamp, no shield. Maybe that's my thinking here. I'm like, I survived this. But it was the Rock Slide. Okay, we're in the 2 shield Scrafty matchup. Definitely shield this. Okay. So 1 shield against 1 shield in the back. And we have a 3 counter advantage. It's not too bad. 4 counter advantage. It's Magnezone, sorry. Shadow Magnezone. So they're going to get off 1 Wild Charge, but they're only going to get 1 off. So we shield the first move. Oh, and I get so greedy. I'm like, I can beat him. And then we CMP tie, and obviously Magnezone is a high damage dealer. So very much you're going to be losing CMP almost on every single mon. So I try to undercharge, but there's absolutely no... They shielded... That's an interesting call. Now, this is not Shadow Machamp, so I think we lived this pretty easily. Okay, I did win this one. Okay. Even I'm surprised. I think if it was Shadow Machamp, it would have been a lot harder because they actually ended up shielding all of the moves, all of the charge moves that got thrown at it, so only fast attacks would have been coming through, and obviously it would not have KO'd through that Alolan Ninetales matchup, and we would have taken so much more damage. Interesting though. This player had a very interesting team. I like it. All right, we gained. I didn't see 30 something because we were at 2742, so maybe 35 points for that 4-1 there. And those are the 2 sets I've done in the last 5 days. So yeah, hopefully this team helps y'all. I actually think I'm gonna play this team for the rest of Ultra League this time around, and I'm preparing for Master League. I do have a Yveltal, which I did power up to level 40. I no longer have any more Stardust, but I have a team in mind that I want to play with Mewtwo and Yveltal. I'll let y'all guess what that 3rd type is. Here's a hint. It's a dark type. Double dark in Master League, y'all. Now, I've never played Master League, so this is going to be interesting. Well, I haven't played Master League Classic since Season 2 or maybe even 1. I know I played in the preseason. I can't remember that far back, but it's been a very long time, and obviously there's a ton of new Pokemon. So, yeah, definitely going to be a learning curve there, but hopefully I can help y'all out. I'm just kind of opposed to playing Elemental Cup at this point. I don't really have a lot of Dust, even though I just said I powered up a Yveltal. But I don't want to waste Dust on like 500 mon. I want to use Dust on things that I'm going to have possibly for the future. Now, this doesn't mean I'm not going to play Elemental Cup, but as of right now, it's not on my radar. I'm going to try out the Master League. And, yeah, thank you again for all your support here on YouTube, and thank you especially to my patrons, Donald Urbazo, Patrick Wong, Rodrigo Cal, Marlon Date, Josh Lambert, Norris JT791. Thank you all so much. And if you haven't, there are definitely still coaching spots available on my Patreon. You can check that out in the description below. Or if you just want to support me in general, there are other levels to that Patreon as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.